Hey guys, how you doing? This is Marco from American Lemko. Let's go check out Lemko Vatra in Zdynia.
It's my Lemko side.
The festival officially begins when the Vatra is lit.
Вогонь є символом. Огонь – то символ сили. Сили того краю, з якого походити ви, ваші родичі, або тут живете, мешкати. І тепер святкуємо ту ватру. Та ватра буде просто до огонь, який тут ще запалить, буде вічна. Ту сліди по нас зостануть. Не лем наші гори, небо, забрали нам поля ліси, то ніч. Ми тут є завжди. Ми є синами тієї землі. Жичу вам гарного дня. Ватра є отворена для вас. Гарного часу то през тих пару днів жичу вам. Тримайтеся з Богом.
Here is the Lemko folk ensemble, Kochera. Members dance, sing, and play live music.
Alright guys, it's time to eat. So, to drink we got some Zdyni, and we get something that they call Carpatho-Rusyn, which means it's the karczyk meat in a roll. Now, I don't know what exactly karczyk is, but it's good, and the only place we find it is here in Zdynia, so we never eat this at home, and the only time when we come to Zdynia, that's the only thing we eat. So much so that like when Sunday comes and the Vatra is done, I don't want to see another Carpatho-Rusyn until next year. So, smash now. Yeah, so inside they also put ketchup and mustard, and what I like, they grill the bun too. But over here you can also get, you can also get like grilled kielbasa, something called golonka, which is, I think, the best way to put it in, or technically the English word for it is like a pig knuckle. But don't worry, it's meat, and it's meat. It has fat, and it's really good. Let's see, and they got us also like pierogies, like hot dogs, hamburgers. But everything here is good, and you can't really go wrong with anything, honestly. But for me, I'm gonna go with what I get every year, Carpatho-Rusyn. Alright, so one thing that's pretty cool when you come to Lemko Vatra in Zdynia is that there'll be the sign over here, and I'll show you right now. And it shows you where other places are that they have like Lemko or Rusyn events. So up top we got Toronto, we got
can't really see it from here. So we have Ruski Kerestur, then you have Michaliu, Allenville, Monasteriska, Svidnik, and Luche. So Lemkos and Rusyns aren't just in here, but all over the world. All right, so one of the first things you'll notice when you come to Vatra is you have two maps over here. The map on the left, it says over here, Odkal jest przyjechał na Lemkівську Ватру в Ждыні, and that basically is saying where are you from, or like where are you living now, and that you came to, being that you came to Lemko Vatra, where do you live or where you come from. So you can tell, basically you're going to take one of these pins, and you can put out like from what city or what country you're from. So you see people from America, and people from the different parts of Europe, and apparently there's some people from Japan over here. And if you're from Poland, you put over here that you could put a pin on what city you guys are from. And also, you can also put a pin on by like how you got here. So some people came by plane, by car, by hike, by foot, by cow, or by bike. Now, on this map, you're gonna put a pin of what village your family's from. So for example, my family is from Turinsko and Lemkovyna. So if you're unsure where that is, you can go closer and find your village. So for example, Vechets is number 1246, and you find number 246, and that's where you put your pin. But I know I already looked up before, and Lemkovyna would be 142. And Turinsko is going to be 194. All right. So it's cool because you get to see where people's ancestors are from and where they live now. All right, let's go on to see what else is here. So here, as you can see, we got vendors on the left. Over here is the beer garden. Well, that's where the party happens. It's gonna be a lot of music over there and singing, so we'll check that out later. But here, some more vendors. People usually tent up there. Plenty of food over here if you want coffee. We got a pizza truck. And this thing is pretty cool over here because it says Lemko Street. Being that it's Lemko Vatra, I think that's pretty appropriate.
через воду, подай ручейку, моє золото, подай ручейку, подай другую, подай личико, най поцілую, подай ручейку, подай другую, подай личико.
That's the thing about Lemkos and Rusnaks. We don't have to wait until at nighttime to have a good time. We have a party all day long, all night long.
Ой, то дівчино закоченая, чого смутна, невесела я, бо як я маю весела води, кого я люблю, тяжко заводи, бо як я маю весела води, кого я люблю, тяжко заводи.
So over here, obviously you can see the Vatra. Obviously they call it Lemkівska Vatra because there's a Vatra. Now what Vatra means, it's basically a bonfire, and why this is important, or why the kind of meaning it kind of has is, so back in the day, when Lemkos and Rusnaks would live in their ancestral villages and they would work hard every day in the fields, a lot of times, especially if they would go out, take their animals, like for example their cows or horses out to pasture, and they work a long day on the field, and I guess as a way to unwind after a long day of hard work, they would come over here, they would get together and just relax, eat some food, have some drinks, and just talk. And basically it's a way that Lemkos and Rusnaks will get together. And now, since Lemkos and Rusnaks are not necessarily as they're now living in the villages and living necessarily 100% agricultural lifestyle, we still use the Vatra as a way to connect. And the thing is about Lemko Vatra is you won't necessarily know the people at first, but once you start talking to them, especially if you're like Lemko or Rusnak, you realize that you have a deep connection with them, and it's easy to become and make new friends. So I like that aspect of it. All right. And that's the thing, it's when I come here, like I didn't grow up here, and I didn't really start speaking Lemko until I was maybe like 18 or 19 years old. But my first time going to Lemko Vatra was in 2017, which was only 5 years ago. But it's weird, it feels weird, like I've never been here before that. Before that time I've never been here, but when I got here, just like that, I felt at home, and even the people I talked to. Yeah, I can't really explain it. If you're Lemko or you're Rusnak, I've never been to, to the mountains over here. I highly recommend it because I can't describe it. It's just, it's awesome. So at Lemko Vatra, it's not just, necessarily just a bava, but just drinking, but there's also things that you can learn, and there's like there's also lectures over here that people will do, and different workshops. And also one thing that you could obviously do is behind me, you'll notice that there's different posters with different information about the history and culture of like Lemko. So for example, we can start off with this one. So, 1947, Akcja Wisła took place, and over here is basically a map that shows you where Lemkos and Ukrainians were in the yellow, and this is more or less where they were sent to. So they were all in the southeast part of Poland, and they were sent to live in the territories that Poland got after World War II. That originally was German. So basically, after World War II, Poland got this new land that Germany lost in World War II, and there was no Polish people living there or other people, and I guess also the way to make sure to assimilate the Lemkos and Ukrainians, the Polish communist government, they basically expelled them from their homeland and sent them out to the western and northern parts of Poland. So, for example, my family was from Turinsko, which is next to Komancha, and Lemkovyna, which is around here, and they were sent all the way to around Koszalin and Kłobrzeg. Alright, let's go on. So there's different, let's see, it looks like different well-known Lemkos, whether they're from an older generation or the current generation. Over here shows what looks to be some kind of publication called Vatra. And over here, I like what this says over here. It says Jedność daje siłę. So what that means is unity gives the strength. And I can't agree with that more. And here we have a poster about Jaworzno, which is this concentration camp in Jaworzno, Poland, that Lemkos and Ukrainians, that some Lemkos and Ukrainians were forced to go to right after World War II during Akcja Wisła. And some Lemkos and Ukrainians were sent there because they were deemed by the Polish communist government as enemies of the state. Side fact, my great-grandfather was in Jaworzno. It's important to know, but let's see what else is over here. Alright guys, so this is Lemko Vatra in Zdynia. So what that means, it's the mountains. So the thing is, one thing to at least understand is when you come here, you're not always be walking on a flat surface. You're gonna be walking on some hills, especially if you want to get the full experience. And if you want a tent, you gotta walk on some hills. But don't worry, by the time you get home, you don't realize how much you walk until you get home on Sunday or Monday and your legs, your calves or thighs are aching, but it's worth it. Here we have train tracks that symbolize the trains that Lemkos and Ukrainians were forced to go on as part of Akcja Wisła. Here we have a cross in the middle and a bell tower. Yeah. So we finally made it on top of the hill, and that's good for a few reasons. One is that's where everyone is basically tenting. Two, actually, surprisingly, I'm getting Wi-Fi up here on the top mountain. And the third, and I think most important, I mean honestly, you can't really beat this view. I have no comment.
And guess what? It's party time. And I met some new friends. Here we go.
Ми дуже любимо ватру в Ждині. Odkud tu jest?
Ja am Slovakia. I am from Slovakia. Becherov.
Jestem z Polski i przyjechałem właśnie tutaj z okolic, dokładnie z Brudarniżnych, gmina Uście Gorlickie, okolice Zdyni.
No, my wszyscy Slováci. Takže keď chcete vypiť, tam poďte šic.
My дуже любимо Ватру.
Dušíme ľubí Vatru.
All right, guys, you heard it from the best. Let's have an awesome time. It's party time.
Guys, this is the Marco Lishik, the American Lemko. We're signing off.
Lemko! He's out!